Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something a little different, an overheard conversation that feels so real, you'll forget it's fiction. Two friends open up about their daily routines in ways you've never heard before. Quirky habits, hidden emotions, and the little rituals that keep them going. It's honest, funny, and strangely relatable. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's listen to their world unfold. You know what's embarrassing? I still sleep with three alarms. One at 6, one at 6:07, and another at 6:13.
Why 607? That's oddly specific.
I read somewhere that odd numbers trick your brain into paying more attention. Honestly, it just means I'm half asleep pressing snooze 3 times.
I do the opposite. I set just one alarm, but I put my phone across the room. By the time I reach it, I'm awake. Though sometimes I crawl back under the blanket and pretend the floor doesn't exist.
Classic. I always picture you as one of those people who stretches with sunrise, yoga.
Nope. My mornings are clumsy. I knock over at least one thing. Yesterday, it was my water bottle. Flooded my socks before 7 a.m.
That's the universe forcing you to start fresh. My mornings are quieter. I boil water for tea, then stand by the window watching that grumpy neighbor walk his dog.
Oh, the one who never smiles?
Yep. I make up new reasons every morning. Yesterday, I decided he's a retired magician who lost his rabbit in a tragic accident.
That's bizarrely specific. I people watch too, but only on the bus ride. It's like a moving theater. I once wrote an entire story in my head about a girl who carried 3 umbrellas, but no bag.
3 umbrellas?
She had them stacked like swords. I figured she ran a secret umbrella fighting club.
Your imagination is unhinged. My theater happens in my kitchen. I light a candle while I toast bread, and I imagine I'm in some European cafe, not a cluttered apartment with laundry staring at me. A candle? At breakfast? Yes, it makes me feel like life's not rushing. My roommate thinks I'm weird, but the flame makes me slower in a good way.
I get that. My version is brushing my teeth with the bathroom light off. Just me, the sound of bristles, and the moonlight.
That sounds meditative.
Or creepy, depending on how you look at it.
You know what else? I always eat exactly 7 almonds. I can't explain why. 7 feels like a lucky number, but not too perfect.
I could never. My breakfast is chaos. Sometimes cereal, sometimes leftover fries. Last week, I had cold lasagna at 8 a.m.
That's illegal.
Maybe, but it felt glorious. It's like I tell myself, you survived yesterday. Here, have lasagna.
You're rewarding yourself in pasta. I reward myself in symmetry.
And that's why we're friends. Your balance, my chaos. Okay, but what about the middle of your day? Do you have anchors, or is it just freestyle?
My anchor is my lunch break. I eat outside, even if it's freezing. The air resets me. I'll sit there with numb fingers, telling myself, at least this isn't the office air conditioner.
That sounds miserable and beautiful at the same time. For me, it's 3 p.m. I always get this crash, so I brew green tea and write exactly 1 sentence in my journal. No matter how good or bad, just 1 line.
That's genius. It's like freezing time.
Exactly. Sometimes the sentence is, I hate spreadsheets. And other days it's, the light on the floor looked like gold.
I wish I had that discipline. My 3 p.m. ritual is sneaking into the bathroom just to scroll memes until I forget what time it is.
Very productive. Hey, laughter's survival.
True. And what about evenings?
Evenings are the hardest. My brain replays everything I said during the day like some cruel highlight reel. Did I sound awkward? Did I laugh too loud? Oh, I do that too. I'll lie in bed remembering things from years ago, like tripping in front of my high school crush. Why does the brain store humiliation like it's treasure? No idea. That's why I started a ritual. I write all the embarrassing thoughts on scrap paper and then rip it up, like shredding evidence. That's brilliant! My ritual is brushing my hair exactly 100 times before bed. 100? Do you count? Always. Each stroke feels like combing the day out of me. That's strangely poetic. Or obsessive. Depends who you ask. Honestly, our routines are just different kinds of survival stories. You improvise, I orchestrate. And both work. Maybe routines aren't about perfection. Maybe they're just ways to remind ourselves we're alive. And not alone in it. Do you ever feel like the first 5 minutes after you wake up decide your whole day?
Completely. If I open my eyes and the first thing I see is the ceiling fan wobbling, I already know I'm going to be irritated.
That's so specific. For me, it's the angle of sunlight. If it's too sharp, I feel like the day's yelling at me. Soft light means I'll probably be kind to strangers.
I wish I noticed things like that. I just roll out of bed, grab my phone, and doom scroll for 15 minutes.
See, that's dangerous. I ban my phone until after breakfast. My brain needs to be mine before it gets invaded by everyone else's thoughts.
You sound disciplined. Meanwhile, I once fell asleep with TikTok open and woke up to the same video looping. Felt like a hostage situation.
That's tragic. My mornings are almost ceremonial. Socks first, always matching, and then I light a candle before I even boil water for tea.
A candle? At 7 a.m.?
It makes the kitchen feel like a sanctuary. Even if my life's chaotic, the flame convinces me it's calm.
My version of that is reheating yesterday's coffee because I'm too lazy to make new.
You're committing a crime against mornings.
I know, but I like the bitterness. It feels like drinking consequences.
That's such a you thing to say.
Okay, confession. I talk to my mirror while brushing my teeth. Like full conversations. Sometimes arguments.
Arguments with yourself?
Yeah, I rehearse things I wish I'd said to people. My toothbrush ends up foamy and I look insane. But it works.
I actually love that. I talk to my plants. I thank them for surviving my inconsistent watering.
At least plants don't argue back. My mirror speaker too can be brutal.
Do you ever win the arguments?
Rarely, but at least I get practice.
My quirkiest habit is counting almonds. I eat exactly 7 every morning. Not 6, not 8, 7.
Why 7?
It feels balanced, but not too balanced. Like the day could tip either way. Keeps me awake.
You're oddly poetic about food. Meanwhile, I eat leftover pizza for breakfast if it's in the fridge. Cold, straight from the box.
That sounds chaotic, but kind of freeing.
It is. It's like flipping the bird to proper routine.
So, mornings aside, what's the anchor in your day?
Honestly, my bus ride. That 20 minutes is when I let my brain be messy. I people watch and invent entire backstories for strangers. Like last week, this guy with a green backpack, I decided he was secretly a magician hiding in plain sight.
That's brilliant. I do something similar in the evenings. I sit by my window and watch the neighbors. I imagine what their kitchens smell like, or whether their arguments are about real things or just excuses to let out steam.
That's kind of voyeuristic.
Maybe, but it reminds me everyone's carrying something invisible.
That's actually comforting.
What about nights? How do you shut the day down?
I brush my hair 100 times. I literally count each stroke.
That's intense.
It's like combing the day out. Every tangle is something I don't want to carry into tomorrow.
That's strangely beautiful. I wish I had that kind of ritual. I just lie in bed replaying every embarrassing thing I said during the day until I pass out.
Oh, I do that too. Last night, I remembered tripping over my shoelace in front of the grocery clerk 2 months ago.
Why does the brain hold on to those? Like, forget calculus, but remember public humiliation forever.
Exactly. That's why I brush so long. It's my way of telling my brain, let it go.
Maybe I'll try that. Though, knowing me, I'd stop at stroke 63 and call it a night.
Still better than carrying pigeon-walking thoughts to bed.
Pigeon walking.
Yeah, sometimes I lie awake wondering if pigeons ever get bored of bobbing their heads like detectives.
That's ridiculous. But now I'll think about it too.
See? That's how my brain works. Random chaos.
Mine's structured chaos, like sock colors, almond counts, candle flames, tiny anchors in the sea of unpredictability.
And mine's letting unpredictability run wild, then brushing it out at night.
Maybe that's why we balance each other.
Yeah, your routines calm me down, and my chaos reminds me not to take everything so seriously.
Exactly. Maybe daily routines aren't about control or rebellion. Maybe they're just stories we tell ourselves to survive the day.
Stories we rewrite every morning, depending on the socks, of course.
Always the socks.
You ever notice how mornings feel different depending on what socks you wear?
Socks? That's the first thing you bring up?
I'm serious. If I put on fuzzy socks, the day feels like it's going to be soft. If I put on thin ones, it feels rushed. And if I can't find matching socks, I already know something chaotic is coming.
That actually makes sense. Yesterday, I wore striped socks. And guess what? My bus broke down and I had to walk half the way to class. Stripes clearly summon disaster.
See? You get it. My whole morning builds from that decision. Then it's coffee. 3 sugars, splash of oat milk. If I stir it counterclockwise, the day feels wrong.
You stir with intention?
Doesn't everyone?
I barely even taste mine. I make instant coffee, leave it on the counter, forget it, then reheat it twice before drinking. By the time I finish, it tastes like cardboard and regret.
That's tragic. Coffee should be a ritual, not punishment.
I know, but mornings are survival mode for me. I roll out of bed, brush my teeth with one eye open, and scroll through my phone with the other.
You're addicted.
Guilty. But it's not doom scrolling, I promise. It's just, I like checking what strangers in different time zones were thinking while I slept. It feels like opening letters from the universe.
That's actually poetic. Meanwhile, my phone stays face down until after breakfast. I don't want other people's thoughts in my head before I've had mine.
That's why you're calmer than me. I start my day wired, and you start like some meditating monk in fuzzy socks.
Monk? Please. I'm chaos in disguise. For example, I talk to my plants every morning.
Oh, I do that too. But mine's less, hello, good morning, and more, please don't die before Friday.
Mine are compliments. You're glowing. Look at that new leaf. It's like pep talks for both of us.
I should try that. Maybe then my cactus wouldn't look so depressed.
Even cacti need love, speaker two.
Okay, tell me this. What's the weirdest thing you do every single day without fail?
I eat exactly 7 almonds before lunch. Not 6, not 8. 7.
Why 7?
No idea. It just feels right. Maybe because the number is odd, so the day doesn't feel too balanced, too boring.
You're such a weirdo. Mine is brushing my hair exactly 100 strokes before bed.
100? Do you count?
Out loud sometimes. It feels like closing brackets on the day, you know? Like I'm combing out every thought that doesn't belong in tomorrow.
That's kind of beautiful. I wish I had that kind of discipline. My night routine is more like stare at the ceiling until I accidentally fall asleep mid-thought. What thoughts? Random things. Like yesterday, I was wondering if pigeons ever get bored of walking like detectives. You're ridiculous. Mine are darker. I replay conversations from the day and wonder if I sounded stupid. You don't. But I get it. I do that too sometimes. Like when I laughed too loudly at a joke in class last week, I thought about it all night. Same. My brain stores these tiny embarrassments like treasures. Maybe that's why routines matter. They're like armor against those thoughts.
Yeah, like brushing your hair 100 times or your 7 almonds.
Exactly. Otherwise, the chaos wins.
Speaking of chaos, my brother eats pasta for breakfast, actual spaghetti at 8 a.m.
That's illegal.
He says it gives him warrior energy. I say it makes the kitchen smell like garlic before school.
Maybe he's onto something. My aunt eats soup for breakfast every day. She swears warm broth keeps her spirit fluid.
Spirit fluid? That sounds like a horror movie. Right? But she's the happiest person I know. Maybe we should swap routines for a week. You live like me, phone first, reheated coffee, constant panic, and I live like you, socks with meanings, almond rituals, plant pep talks.
That sounds like a social experiment. We'd probably both lose our minds.
Or discover hidden superpowers.
Like what?
You'd learn how to thrive in chaos, and I'd finally experience calm.
Or I'd end up addicted to doom scrolling and you'd start talking to socks.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind. My socks are already cooler than half the people I meet.
True. Well, here's to routines. Messy, weird, or perfect.
Yeah, they're not just routines, really. They're like secret diaries we live out loud.
You know what I realized this morning? I've been brushing my teeth in the dark for 3 weeks now. In the dark? Like, deliberately? Yeah. It started because the bathroom bulb went out and I kept forgetting to change it. But then I noticed I actually like it. It feels calmer, like I'm easing into the day instead of being interrogated by fluorescent light. That's kind of poetic.
Meanwhile, my mornings start with my neighbor's blender at exactly 6:12 a.m. He makes protein shakes like he's grinding bricks.
Maybe he is. Secret brick smoothies.
Wouldn't surprise me. I swear the guy owns 12 pairs of identical gray sweatpants. That's probably his whole personality, bricks and sweatpants.
Don't underestimate the comfort of a uniform. I wear the same faded blue sweater every Tuesday. People think it's a coincidence, but it's not. It's my Tuesday sweater.
Why Tuesday specifically?
Because Tuesdays feel flat, neither dramatic like Monday nor hopeful like Friday. The sweater is soft, predictable. It makes Tuesday less awkward.
That's kind of oddly brilliant. My version of that is eating cereal at night. Not every night, just on Wednesdays. Cereal ritual.
What kind?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I eat it dry, out of a coffee mug, while watching reruns of cooking competitions. Something about chefs stressing over soufflés while I'm crunching cereal makes me feel balanced.
I love how your balance involves chaos. My evenings are the opposite. I play the same playlist, mostly piano music, and stretch on the floor like some elderly cat.
Do you actually enjoy stretching, or is it like flossing, something you do just so your body won't hate you later?
A bit of both. I think I enjoy the illusion of control. My day might have been messy, but at least I can touch my toes before bed.
I get that. My thing is watering my plants at night. Not because they need it, half of them are succulents, they'd survive the apocalypse, but because I like the sound of the water hitting the soil. It's like punctuation at the end of the day.
That's actually beautiful. Do you talk to them?
Sometimes, mostly apologies. Sorry I forgot about you for 2 weeks, or sorry your friend died of overwatering.
Plant funerals. I've had those. My fern collapsed dramatically once, like it had fainted from Victorian grief.
Mine don't die gracefully. It's more like one day thriving, next day skeletal husk. No warning.
That's life, though. No warning.
That sounded heavier than the fern deserved. You okay?
Yeah, just tired. I've been waking up at 3:17 a.m. almost every night, like clockwork. It's unnerving.
Any idea why?
I don't know. Maybe my brain has an alarm I didn't set. Sometimes I just sit there in the dark, listening to the fridge hum. It feels like the house is alive and I'm intruding.
I've had nights like that. Mine was last winter. I used to stare at the ceiling fan blades and count rotations until morning. It's a weird limbo, isn't it? Not night, not day.
Exactly. And then when morning actually arrives, everyone else seems fine. like nothing strange happened, but I'm walking around like a ghost.
Maybe that's why you like brushing your teeth in the dark. It matches that in-between feeling.
Huh. I never thought of it like that. Maybe you're right.
Look at us, routine archaeologists digging meaning out of the strangest habits.
Well, daily routines aren't just chores. They're little confessions.
I like that. My confession, then, is sometimes I pretend I've read the news when I haven't. I skim headlines just so I can nod at work when people complain about the economy.
I do the opposite. I read full articles, but never mention it. It feels like hoarding knowledge, like keeping a secret stash of thoughts.
So you're a silent sage, and I'm a loud fraud.
Basically. And yet we both end up in the same place talking about sweatpants neighbors and fainting ferns.
Honestly, I think that's more real than half the stuff people post online about perfect routines.
Agreed. Give me messy mornings and serial nights over curated wellness schedules any day.
Cheers to that. Maybe we should start a podcast called The Imperfect Routines Hour.
Only if we record it at 3:17 a.m. while you water your plants and I stretch on the floor.
Perfect. Authentic chaos. That's our brand.